Broken Homes. This is a podcast for musicians and artists alike.
My name is Mark.
And I'm Renegade.
And we're going to talk with folks about anything from new releases to tour stories.
The good, the bad, and the worst. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, and welcome back to Ragged Bones, a Robert Roost podcast. Why don't you go ahead and tell us who we're hanging out with today, Mark?
We're hanging out with Mutha Falcon, and y'all are from Denton.
Yes, sir.
Denton, Texas.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and maybe give us a fun fact about you.
For sure. My name is Dia Kraft. I'm from Houston, Texas originally, and then I moved up here. And I don't really like tomatoes. I kind of like them. I'm just not much of a tomato fan. I don't know.
That's a fun fact for us, but it's not so much fun for you. You're like, I don't like them.
I really hate onions. God damn, I hate onions.
Oh, you don't like onions?
Oh, I hate onions.
You know, it depends on the onion. Like, I don't like caramelized onions because I don't like sweet stuff that isn't supposed to be sweet. I think that's really fucking weird. But whatever. But I mean, I'll eat like chopped onions, or like raw onions.
I won't eat them, period. Take them away. Take them away.
So how would you describe Mutha Falcon?
We are a blend of punk and hip hop. We're closest, I think, to Rage Against the Machine. That's usually what I'll tell people if they're asking. But it's very high energy, very just crazy music. I'll be running around. My keyboardist, he's always hopping around too, doing his thing. But it's always good because we always bring out, all the energy out of the crowd. Even if we start a show where there's a bunch of old people and two people dancing, we'll get everybody moving before it's over.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. How long have y'all been active as Mutha Falcon?
2 years, I think. 2.5 almost now, I think, because we started back in May 2017. And I mean, I guess it's, so 2.5 years, yeah.
Going strong. So where did the name come from?
We were originally called Millennial Falcon. I decided to change the name because there was another Millennial Falcon out in Oregon, and they were having issues with getting their name trademarked because of Disney, because there's a Millennial Falcon. Disney sent them a cease and desist letter or whatever about it because they were trying to get it trademarked, and then Disney was like, no, it's a mouse. And anywho, so I figured, I'm like, well, Disney don't even know about us. We aren't even all millennials. I chose that name because we were originally millennials at the time. Our drummer, I think our second drummer we added to the band, she was not a millennial. So it didn't work anymore. So I just chose Mutha because I'm like, well, first of all, I love Samuel L. Jackson. And we already had these wristbands that we had made whenever we first started the band that said Falcon, Mutha Falcon, do you speak it? And I was just like, you know what? Let's do that. Yeah, why not? And plus you can do all sorts of stuff with that name. Our logo now says Bad Mutha Falcon. You can do all sorts of Mutha ones. Yeah, it's good. It's very, very functional.
So what do you do outside of music?
I work 2 jobs 7 days a week.
Damn, and play in a band.
Yeah, and I run the band. I'm the sole manager, promoter, all that. I do all the booking. I do all the networking. It's nonstop. I write all of our songs. I've been writing some more of the music portion lately. Our 2 newest songs, I actually wrote the music for, which is cool because I kind of play bass. I have a bass and I kind of play it, but you'll never see me playing it on stage anytime soon. But I work a bunch. I've been working 7 days a week since February. And it's very, very exhausting, but because I grind so hard, we do end up having the money to take care of stuff that we want to do and just I'm able to finally support myself and all that.
You don't have any animals, right?
No, but I love them. I really want a dog. I really want a Samoyed, those white, fluffy kind of dogs, because they look like clouds. And
yeah, totally.
And one of our former bassists, Grayson, me and him were talking one day about how we both really want those dogs. And he was such a sweetheart. He's just, whenever he'd be really annoyed with stuff, he'd always be like, oh, and we'd always joke because those Samoyed dogs are very, very talkative. And so they kind of do that too. And so I told him, I'm like, look, if I ever get one, I'm going to name it Grayson because I have to. I love doggos and cats. Yeah. I just don't have any.
So where were you born and raised?
Houston, Texas, in
Oh,
the
yeah, you
Cypress
said that.
part.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, no, suburban Houston, like northwest side, Cypress kind of area, and so, but I lived there until I was 19, and then I moved to East Texas for junior college in Tyler, Texas, and I absolutely fucking hated it. It was really, really bad, and so I hated it so much out there that I transferred to UNT, and that's how I ended up in Denton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you first start playing music, and what was your first instrument?
So back in middle school, I played guitar very briefly. I played guitar for about a couple years, and I just kind of fell off with it. You know, I just didn't really, like, at the beginning, I was really getting into it, and I kind of, like, stopped taking lessons, and then I kind of stopped giving a fuck about it. And then whenever I was in, I think it was the 8th grade technically, they screwed up my schedule at my high school because at my middle school, I was in the middle school, me and my older sister were in the same grade, and they ended up getting our schedule swapped, and so I ended up in choir. And I wasn't supposed to be in choir, but I did that for like 8th grade and 9th grade, and my 8th grade teacher was pretty cool, but oh my God, my teacher in high school was the absolute worst. She was so rude, and she just, oh my God. And choir music was never really my thing. I really just stuck with it because, like, I had homies in the class, but, like, I was an emo kid. I wasn't trying to sing all that. Like, you know, I wanted to rock, and I could never do it. But I think we had I was in high school. So it was in the 9th grade. We had a choir show thingy where they let us do solos. And so, like, the first, like, solo song I ever performed was, because we got to pick what it was Start All Over by Miley Cyrus. I was the hugest Hannah Montana fan back in the day. And if I ever met Miley, I'm just not going to tell her about that. But, like, it was really funny because, I know I'm probably never going to see the footage of it, but I was, like, dancing and all this stuff back then. I sounded terrible, but I was feeling it. And, but then I stopped doing choir, I think after, I think I might have done it my sophomore year too, but I don't recall. But I stopped doing choir after that, and I didn't do music again because I'd always loved listening to music. Like, my dad was a musician, so I've grown up around music and all that, but I just never really, like, got into performing or, like, songwriting or anything until I moved up here. Until, like, I think 6 months after I moved up here, because because I moved up here for school, so I was just doing school stuff. I had no idea Denton even had a music scene until I met this one dude and, like, started hanging around him a bunch because he was in a band. And then I found out, okay, there's a music scene. And then literally the thing that made me start doing music was whenever Trump got inaugurated and stuff, because I've always been a very, like, politically focused person. I've always kept up with stuff like politics and just current events and the news and all that, because whenever I was a kid, my parents made me watch the news every single night. Like, they didn't play that no watching the news kind of thing. Like, I had to be informed. And so but, like, just seeing, like, Trump get in and then just, like, feeling that day. I remember the day after the inauguration, just how weird shit felt that day. Like, that was, oh my God, just, like, experiencing that. I was just kind of like, you know, I have words that I need to say and that I know people can, like, relate to. Mm-hmm. And so I got with Landon, my guitarist. Me and him met, like, not that long after I moved up here because we were working at the same place in Flower Mound. We were working at Rockfish, it's this restaurant. And I knew he played guitar because he would go and play guitar up there. And he's a very, very chill guy. Honestly, everybody else in my band is really, really chill compared to me. And so I just kind of got with him and I was like, hey, I wrote this song, and it was that progress report song that we have. It's an older one. It's about the Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos. Fuck that bitch. And I got with him on it. I was like, you know, I want to try something, you know, and then we ended up forming the band like around May that year, and we had our buddy Kenny on bass, you know, and that was like the original Falcon lineup, but we've had so many members since then that, like, now our sound is finally where it needs to be. And it's just been quite the journey getting to this point, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen you guys play, too, actually.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Probably tons of development just in that time, too.
Yeah, sure. And we're playing a show with Mutha Falcon tonight in Denton, so we're very eagerly awaiting that show.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
So excited. Okay, so you have any weird hobbies or collect anything?
I mean, I try to collect flyers from the shows that we play because, you know, I don't know, I can always find them typically. So I have all sorts of like random little Falcon memorabilia just kind of stashed everywhere. As far as hobbies go, I wouldn't say I have any weird hobbies, but I mean, like, I don't know, I usually just I like ride my bike a lot, so I'm just always going on all sorts of little adventures. Whenever I was working in downtown Dallas, I mean, this is kind of weird, I guess. I don't know, like I used to have to take the train out there, and there was this bar that was by one of the train stations in Uptown, and it was like a dog park bar, and so I usually just kind of like hang out there and watch people's dogs because I love dogs so much.
Awesome.
Because they're just so sweet.
Dog
you know, even though I
watching.
don't have a woofer, but like it was a bar. It was a dog bar. So hell yeah, I'd get like
That's
a margarita
awesome. Yeah.
and sit there.
Pet all the dogs and like
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I would probably say that's probably like a weirder hobby.
No,
but I haven't
that's
done
good.
that in a while.
That's awesome. We're big animal lovers, so I fully that's super rad.
They're sweet.
How many times have you been around the sun?
Oh, so I guess 25 and a half, because my birthday's in May.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long time. At least it seems like, but I know there's only longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the worst movie you've ever seen? What's the worst one you can think of?
Okay, so there's this Christian movie. Okay, so I watched.
Oh, they're all bad.
So bad. There's this podcast I've been following for a few years. They're based out of Austin. They're called Double Toasted. Super duper funny. Oh my God, they're hilarious. And I'll usually watch their reviews before I go see a movie. And like, I'll especially like the reviews for the shitty movies because I'm like, yo, it's gonna be lit. And I'll go and like get really smashed and go watch the movie. And like, there is this one that it was called The Identical. And I found out about it on their podcast. And it was about this guy who, okay, in the story or whatever, what's his face? Elvis never actually died or whatever. He actually, like, okay, in the story, Elvis had a twin. I think that's what it was. Yeah, he had a twin, okay? And no one ever knew about the twin or whatever. And this story focuses around Elvis's supposed twin or whatever. And first of all, the actor that they have playing this dude, yeah, he kind of looked like Elvis, but he was also like clearly in his 30s, and he was supposed to be playing a high school student. And so they had this gigantic dude just like walking around in this high school. And it had like, I think Ray Liotta was in there. It had like a few famous people. I'm like, what on earth? What kind of contract did y'all sign to where y'all had to be up in here? It was so bad.
Whose idea was
Oh
this?
my God. And then just, oh my God, it was terrible, but it was the funniest thing. And I didn't pay for it. I just, you know, on the internet. But it's really funny if you ever want to laugh. But it was like one of those like Christian faith-based movies, and like this guy, Elvis's twin, wanted to do music, but like his family didn't want him to do rock because, you know, it was like Satan's music back in the day or whatever. Like, stupid. It was so stupid.
So dumb.
Yeah.
What is y'all's most recent release, and do y'all have any tour plans in the near future or shows or anything like that?
Ooh, yes. Okay, so we're putting out a brand new single February 7th called Ego Death. It's a song that I wrote about like people with their giant small town egos and how they just need to chill out, you know? Like we're all like, especially living in a town like Denton where it is a smaller town. Like there's only 135,000 people, I think. And you know, that number fluctuates with school being in and out. And, you know, we have a music scene in town, but it's also like, you know, I feel like people don't think about how in the grand scale of things we are in we're not even Austin. This is what this town wants to be, Austin, you know? A lot of people don't know where the fuck Denton is, and it's just like, you know, there's a lot of people who just don't know how to be humble, you know, and just be like, you know, I have this success, what can I do with this to, you know, make the world a better place? It's a lot of people that are just more concerned about, oh well, I'm the shit. Give me my damn award, you know? But it's like, come on, you know? Like, get over yourself. And essentially, that's kind of what that song is about. And I feel like it's really relatable for people who, even if you don't live in a small town, we all know people like that, where they think that they're all that. And it's like, yo, we're not. Like, you know, work hard, be humble. But it's coming out February 7th. We are having a release show up here in Denton at Rubber Gloves. rehearsal studios with Hen and the Cox, The Infamous, and Better Now. So that'll be cool. And we also have a West Coast tour I'm trying to plan. It should be, I don't know what I haven't formally started planning it yet because I'm trying to get all this stuff ready for this release, but that should be sometime this summer. So keep an eye out on that. If you want to listen to some current Falcon shit we already have out, we have the Book of Falcon Volume 1. That's available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, all of that. Literally everything. It's everywhere. It's on SoundCloud.
You will find it.
Yeah. We're hopefully we should be putting out like another EP or something by the end of next year. We shall see. We've been in the studio a lot, so
Cool.
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite show location, tour location anywhere? Where's the best place you've played?
Honestly, I would say Alien Ghost House in Dublin.
Oh, yeah. We just played there last night, yeah.
It's awesome. Everybody there is always so nice to us. And then, they really, oh, my God, they always take such good care of us whenever we play out there.
They fed us, too. And, they're great people.
Everyone is so nice. Like, Seth and, Sven and all that. And just all the stuff that they're doing for even their local scene. Because, anytime we play out there, we always talk to all our friends and stuff. And they always tell us, how out there, it's mostly country acts if you go to a bar.
That's what they were telling us last night, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and ain't everybody always trying to listen to country music all the time, So that's what's so good about what they're doing for their scene out there. And I think that is so fucking cool. We always have literally our best shows are always out there. And that's always good. We like playing out there.
If you could tour anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Ooh. Oh, shit. Honestly, I would love to tour Japan. I feel like they'd be so into our stuff.
Yeah.
Just because it's so hype. They don't even have to understand it, to
we
get
have one
into
friend
it.
out there that we'll send you to for sure that, told us to come and, I'm sure would love y'all.
Oh, my God. That would be awesome. Oh, good Lord. We'd have to, we'd have to sell a kidney to pay for those plane tickets and shit.
Yeah,
oh my God, if we ever got the opportunity to, I would so love it. Everything there is so small too. It's perfect because I'm 5 foot tall, so everything works for me. I don't know what to tell the rest of my bandmates, but I'd be fine. I'm down.
Okay, so what's the craziest thing that's happened at shows, good or bad? Or it doesn't even have to be at shows. What's the craziest thing you can think of? That's just out there, outlandish. So why you can't make this kind of shit up.
I'm trying to think. Oh my God, we always have a lot of crazy stuff happen. There's one time I accidentally, what was it? I accidentally knocked over this table at this venue. It's not from what I can think of off the top of my head, this was actually kind of funny. We were playing at Denton County Brewing. It's this I hate saying that word. Brewery, however you say that. I hate saying that word. It's over by the square. And this was I think the first time they ever tried to have a show there. And the thing is, a lot of people, what they don't realize, it's if you look at photos of our band or whatever, if you just see us hanging out, you probably don't expect the level of energy we bring and stuff. And so we got there and they only had it was a 6-foot cable, mic cable for me, and I like to get all up in the crowd. So the cable wasn't long enough, and then I didn't think anything of it, but literally the beginning of the first song, I walked out towards the crowd, and then the cable thing came apart, but I didn't notice it because I was performing, And so I just kept walking forward, and I went to go step on this couch that was in front of me, and my foot actually stepped on the corner of this coffee table, and the table went flipped over, and I was okay, but it was crazy because the way it did it, my foot went down on that table, and it clipped the corner, and so the table flipped, but my other foot, while I was stepping, was already on the couch. So I didn't even miss a step. I was fine.
Yeah.
That poor table wasn't fine, and I felt real bad for knocking over their shit, but what are you gonna do? It was just crazy because that was one of the few places I will say that we've played where it was just the space, you you could tell they weren't anticipating any of that.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of people too, and whenever you're performing, you gotta keep going. So even though this mic didn't work, and I realized once I got on top of the couch it didn't work, I just kind of I put the mic down and I just started walking through the crowd. And this is a song where I scream, in the middle. It's the 7th level. It's about standing up and taking your power back and like fuck the government. And like I had to walk around just like screaming at people, and
No
they were
mic.
getting into it, but it was just like, oh my god,
Table flying, mic.
it was a great night, but it was just also like I felt so
What
bad
the
for that
fuck's
video
happening?
because I could tell they were getting tired of my shit. I accidentally knocked over some water too. I know they were over it, but yeah, good shit.
Okay, this is gonna get weird. Do you have any paranormal or conspiracy theories or like ghost stories or anything
Aliens,
weird
Bigfoot?
that's just unexplainable that ever happened to you?
Well, so my sisters, because I'm one out of 4 kids. I have like 2 sisters and a brother. Way back whenever I was living back home in Houston. So they were telling me about this. I was upstairs, so I wasn't downstairs when this happened. But they were putting up the dishes at my parents' house, and we're all relatively short, all right? Like, none of us are that tall. We're all like 5-footish, except for my little brother. He's like really tall. I don't know why, I don't know how anyway, but like they were putting up the dishes, and literally my older sister said that they were putting stuff like on the bottom shelves. A plate fell from the top shelf and like flew across the room, like went like that, like across the room and hit the wall and broke. What? And it was just some really fucking weird shit. And then my parents were like, what are y'all doing?
Breaking things, yeah.
You know, but it's just like really weird shit would happen back at that house, and like and it was weird too because it wasn't an old house. Like it's suburban Houston. The damn house was built in the 2000s. It's, you know, it shouldn't be that fucking creepy. But like, I mean, like you could always hear it sounded like someone was walking on the steps and stuff. That was really weird. And then like and I don't know if this is specifically tied to that house, but I feel like it might be. But I used to have sleep paralysis really bad whenever I lived at home. Like really, like I mean, I got it nightly. Like I had it really bad.
Scary.
I had it really bad, but ever since like moving out, I don't have that. Like I've only gotten it twice since I've left home, and I haven't been home for like I moved out in 2013, 14. Like I haven't been home in a long time. I've literally only had it happen twice, but I used to get
That's
that shit
weird.
nightly.
so
yeah,
weird.
dude.
That's so weird
It's
that-
really weird, and that's why I also don't know. Because sleep paralysis is also tied to stress. Sometimes
Yeah.
if you're just really stressed. And I was more stressed living back home then, you know, because my parents' house, I couldn't just do what I want. You know, I couldn't
Yeah,
just, and I was
exactly, yeah.
also 18, 19, so come on. Like, I really couldn't do what I wanted. And so I don't know if it was tied to that house or what, but it was just, man, just weird, really weird stuff would happen. And I mean, I'm just glad I don't have sleep paralysis as much now, because the only times I've gotten it since I've moved were times where I was like beyond stressed. And so it's just, yeah it's real weird.
So what's the dumbest thing that you've been arrested for, and it's totally fine that you've never been arrested?
So I've never been arrested, but I have a story.
Okay,
So
yeah,
this
let's
is
hear it.
fucking stupid. I actually wrote a song about that, and y'all hear it tonight because we're gonna perform it. It's called "Accident," and I wrote it about how back in, this is so stupid. You know how 420 was on Easter this year?
Oh,
It was
yeah, I
like
didn't
the
know
day
that.
before Easter. It was Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Stupid. So 420 Easter this year, I was leaving my house to go to my friend's show. And so, you know, whenever I'm on my bike, you know, I'm just right, which you can actually see my fucked up bike back behind. It's not this one, but it's like way back in that corner over there.
Oh yeah.
I was pulling out, like so you know where y'all parked your van on that corner right there. Okay, so on this day, because there's typically cars lined up and down that street. Like right now, we just so happen to be on the day where there's no one really over there. It's typically, I mean, bumper to bumper lined up and down that street, and y'all actually parked behind the white line. This day just so happened to be the day where not only was there like a fucking gigantic SUV parked there before that turn in, but it was parked right at the turn in, so I couldn't see beyond it. And I pulled out, and I was immediately hit by this girl driving a car.
Oh.
Yeah, this dumb bitch who lives across the street from me. Like, she lives in those apartments. Well, she didn't live there no more, but she lived over there. She hit me with her car, and I thankfully, you know, I knew to tuck and roll. You know, you're supposed to roll or whatever.
Damn.
surprisingly, like I had my afro at the time too. I had my afro pick in my hair, and pick stayed in my hair, so I was like, okay,
shit.
cool. It didn't hit my head. My phone stayed in my bra, and it was funny because I was playing Streetlight Manifesto, which they're like a
Yeah, I
ska
love
band, they're
that
real
band.
intense.
Yeah, they're
so
so
that
good.
was going too,
Yeah.
and that was still going, and I was just like, what? And I'd never been hit by a car before, like ever. Especially being on my bike, I had no protection. This leg, my left leg ended up swelling up real bad. I had this gigantic bruise right here. My elbow was almost fractured. It was just really, really bad. And like, I've never been majorly injured or anything. And so I just, like, after she hit me, I got up and she was like, oh my God, are you okay? About to cry and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm fine, whatever. We sat down and she was like, I don't know, do you need an ambulance? And it's just weird because, after shit like that happens, how you don't know what, you don't really realize what happened after it happens, and people are all like, are you okay, da-da-da-da-da, and you're just like,
I'm good.
That's how I was like, yeah, I'm fine, whatever. And then I sat down and I looked at my leg and I was like, that leg's looking a little swollen. And then I looked at my hand and I had those blood blister things, and I've never gotten that before, and I was like, what the fuck? And so I was like, we should probably call an ambulance, right? And then I called my buddy Joe, my buddy who I was telling you all about. Awesome friend, awesome producer, great homie. I called him right after it happened, and I was just like, hey, I got hit by a car. And he's like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Joe rolls up. The cops come, all this stuff, and we're explaining what happened to the cops. This girl told Denton PD that she was not looking at the road because she was distracted by a car. She straight up told she was distracted by another car. What? Like, I guess there was a nice car or something that drove by.
Car,
which is like, wow, really? There's a nice car in Denton? We're in the shitty part of Denton. Where's the nice car at?
Yeah.
I've never seen a nice car around here, whatever. And so she was telling the officers that. She told, my buddy Joe that. She told the other witness that was there that. And they still gave me a ticket. I got a $250 ticket. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, because in the city of Denton, and this is why it's important to know your bike laws, in the city of Denton, a bike is considered a motor vehicle. And because I was pulling out of my apartment complex, even though I couldn't fucking see anything because I'm 5 feet tall and I have a bike for little people since I'm so short, even though I couldn't see anything, it was still, in the city of Denton's eyes, it was still my fault, even though she admitted to being distracted and all that. And I ended up having to miss, because it was Easter weekend, I couldn't go anywhere to get I couldn't take care of anything that next day. I had to wait until Monday. My God. And then it only gets stupider. So the girl who hit me, she was like, okay, well, I need to talk to my parents about all this, yada, yada, yada. She was like swearing up and down she'd take care of me, get me a new bike, all this stuff. And I told her, I was like, okay, so Thursday, because I was like, that would make a week. I was like, I'll give you like a week to talk to your parents about all this. We need to get this figured out because I can't go to work because I was working 7 days a week. I work at a warehouse. Well, now I work at 2 warehouses, but at that time I was working at a juice bar and a warehouse. The juice bar work was definitely more low impact, so I got to go back to that sooner. But the warehouse job, I ended up missing 3 weeks of work.
Oh my
and
God.
that was like my
That's a lot of
and
money.
that was my
So
good paying
that's
job at the
recharged,
time.
but you lost all of that money that you could have been making.
And what was also
Jesus
real fucked
fucking
up,
Christ.
so I didn't have health insurance at the time. Thankfully, I have it now. Didn't have it at the time. And so I was kind of like faced with, okay, what do I do? Do I go to the ER? What do I, should I just wait? Thankfully, my buddy Joe took care of me that night. He's like, look, I'll get you some coffee, keep you up. That way, just in case you do have a concussion, nothing will happen. He was really, really pushing for me to just go to the chiropractor because what's so crazy about this whole train of events is literally 3 days before that accident, I went to the chiropractor for the first time because one of my ribs got displaced. And I'm not entirely sure how. We hadn't had a show that week. And I think some shit probably happened at the show to pop it out of place. So I went to the chiropractor that was next door to the juice bar I worked at because she gave us a discount and stuff. And I already was supposed to come in for a follow-up meeting that Monday. The Monday following 420 Easter. I already had an appointment. And so he was like, just wait till Monday. Go to the chiropractor. He's like, I'll give you a ride if you need it. Whatever. Yeah, he's awesome. Anyway, and so I went to the chiropractor. It was really funny because I walked in there and I was like, hey, I got hit by a car this weekend. They're like, oh my God, what? And I had to, it was really fucked up because I had to pay out of pocket for ultrasound treatments. I had to do 2 of those every day. just about.
my
on
God.
Out of your
my-
pocket.
Well, technically 3 because I had to get my elbow. Now my elbow looks fine. It's been a few months, but they had to do it on here, that bruise, and my leg. And I'm really
damn.
glad that thankfully those weren't super expensive, but I was having to use my rent money because that was around time for rent. And I had told that girl who hit me that I was using my rent money, and she like swore she's gonna take care of it. Well, that Thursday rolls around whenever I was gonna follow up with her on it.
disappeared, right?
Dude, check this out. This girl told me, she was like, I'm sorry, I haven't told my parents yet because I'm just really stressed out with school and I might not be going to UNT next year, whatever. And I just told her, I was like, well, look, I understand that sucks, but you hit me with your damn car.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta help.
This is your responsibility.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, and then get this. So then, like, the next couple days, I was trying to reach out to her. I didn't hear anything. So me being me, I was like, you know what? I know how to use the internet. I found her, found her parents' information. Like, I couldn't find her mom. Okay, so check this out. This girl's mom was an ER doctor, like a doctor, MD doctor at Parkland in Dallas. Yeah, exactly. And I couldn't find her mom's personal number because she's a doctor, but I had called her office and stuff trying to get in contact with her mom, called 2 of her offices. This lady has 2 different offices. Couldn't get in contact with her mom, left messages with people. And so I kept doing some digging and I found her dad's information. I got in contact with her dad. I texted her dad and I was like, is this Grace's dad? And he was like, who is this? You know, and I told him the situation that happened and he had no idea. And this was like a week and a few days after it happened.
Oh my God.
But I guess him and his wife were divorced and she was under his wife's care. So he's like, I passed this information along to her mom, yada, yada. And then, so it was messed up because I tried to just reach out to her insurance because I had all of her information from the crash report, tried to just reach out to this girl's insurance company. And then they told me that they couldn't help me because I got that fucking ticket. And the ticket was saying that it was my fault, even though it wasn't.
Oh my God.
And so I got so screwed over. I still to this day have not received any money. She never replaced my fucking bike. One of my friends felt bad for me and gave me, that's actually his husband's bike. That's his husband's old bike
Yeah.
he gave me. And he gave me that and I fixed it up.
nice of him.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, people were, oh my God, people were so sweet to me during that time. Like people, like I have really, really good friends who were there for me and taking care of me. But it was just really dumb because I ended up with that ticket. I had to fight that ticket. Like, I had to keep going to court and stuff. And, like, they were originally trying to make me pay, I think it was technically $253. Don't know where I literally do not even understand that total, but whatever. They're trying to make me do that and do defensive driving.
What?
I don't have a fucking car.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not even
Bike.
driving. Like, yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude, they're trying to get me to do defensive driving, and I was like, well, I'm not about to do that, you know? And so I
That's
fought for it
unreasonable.
all
Like,
summer, and
yeah.
it took all summer for me to finally get that taken care of.
Yeah.
But I ended up being able to get it reduced, which, I mean, obviously, in a perfect world, I shouldn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
But I was able to get it reduced to $110, which is a whole lot nicer than $253.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to take defensive driving, and I was able to get it off my record too.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
And the really dumb thing about it is that was my first ever ticket.
Yeah. And it was not your
your
fault.
fault.
Like, none of it was
That's
your fault.
so
It's fucked
stupid.
up, dude. And then, like, while all that was going on, I was trying to get a lawyer, and it was so hard for me to find a lawyer. And it's not even anything to necessarily do with my case. Like, they didn't think I could beat my case as much as it was just lawyers mostly want, like, you know, cases where they're going to make more money off them. They don't usually
Yeah,
want
they
traffic
won't take
shit.
cases where they won't, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I also, it's not like I got the money for a lawyer anyway. So whenever they were like, okay, you can either opt into getting it, I think, what's the term? There is a term.
Sponge?
No, it was like I think deferred or whatever.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're like, you'd have to take defensive driving and you'd have to pay or you can take it to trial. And so I opted to take it to trial. And so since I was having an issue finding a lawyer and all that, I showed up to my trial that morning fully prepared to like represent myself. I had all my information. I had all my x-rays. Fuck it, I had to pay for all that. I had all the receipts for all the stuff I had to pay for. And I ended up going in there, and then that lady just kind of told me that deal, and I was like, hey, well, I'll just pay the 110 and stay out of trouble for 90 days, and then it'll fall off my record. And I'm so glad I did that, because that was my main thing. I was like, I shouldn't have something on my record that ain't even my fault anyway. I was the one who I ended up like almost $800 in the hole because of that.
What the fuck?
And I couldn't go to work, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just really, really stupid. Like, I got so beyond screwed. But the way I see it, and then that girl eventually moved. She doesn't live over there anymore. But it's like, you know, the way I see it, that people who do shit like that, you know, like you completely hit somebody and you're just not even gonna like contact that person. Oh yeah, some shit's gonna happen to her if it hasn't already happened to her. And she looked like a bootleg Demi Lovato. Fuck that bitch. Yeah, good shit.
Tell us 3 things that you're scared of.
Okay, this is really weird, but I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of butterflies. But I just don't really like butterflies. I just don't. I think that that they're beautiful, they're pretty, but I just don't want them to touch me. Yeah. I just because whenever I was a kid, I was in Houston or whatever, the Houston Museum of Natural Science. I don't know if they still have it, but at the time they had this huge butterfly exhibit.
Yeah,
Seattle has one of those.
Yeah, you could stand in there, with all the butterflies. We were on a school trip, and I don't know why, elementary school Daya didn't realize, hey, being in a butterfly exhibit literally means that they're going to be all up on you. I don't know why I didn't think anything of that, but that situation fucked me up, dude, because they were all up on me. And like, I know with butterflies, you're not supposed to touch their wings because then it, so then that puts me in like, oh, I don't know what to do,
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, it mortified me. So now I have this thing, like, they're really cute, but like if there's one that's flying near me, I just kind of I just walk off. I don't really do bugs. Like, I mean, I think spiders are really pretty, which is weird because, like, I know a lot of people don't like spiders. Spiders don't actually freak me out, but I mean,
really?
Yeah, they literally don't. Like, I mean, unless they're like, the big boys. But even then, I've never seen one of those in real life. I'm a city girl. I've never seen one that big,
Yeah.
But that would probably, even then, I probably wouldn't scream unless it had wings or something. Like, I don't like when stuff flies that shouldn't fly. I don't do that.
Spiders, no.
Ooh, yeah, anything that has wings. That's. I think that would count as a fear. I just don't do things with wings that should not have wings. Yeah, like flying roaches. Good Lord, thank God. I haven't really seen that as much in North Texas, but in Houston, good. Oh my God, I'm not about that. Yeah, creepy crawlies. Good shit.
Well, one of my favorite ones is we're about to throw at you, but 30-second shout out to all your favorite bands. Go.
Ooh, okay. Shout out to Puntane, Hen and the Cox, My Chemical Romance for making me the emo kid that I am. Yeah. Oh my God. Shit, there's so many people. Abel Delilah, they're an awesome band out of Arlington. Shout out to Superhero Supervillain. Friggin' who else? Oh my God, so many people.
Put you on the spot.
I'm so bad about thinking about stuff.
No, it's okay. So you're on the spot. So.
After Dinosaurs, they're cool. Chasing Oliver, they're also really cool. Oh my God. Oh no. Sorry to everyone who I didn't mention that has been a huge part in our success. There we go.
That was good.
I'm so bad about all the spot stuff. I'm
really
bad about that.
I know I put you on the spot, so it's like, oh shit, like what? I wasn't ready for that.
And there's so many people. Oh my God,
Yeah,
there's so many
all
people that have
sorts of
like
people in bands,
helped us
yeah.
along the line.
Like if you
Can't even
put
think
us
about
on the
it.
spot for that, oh my God, yeah, I'd be screwed. I would not know it. Yeah, but like if you have sit there and had time and take time and think about it, like. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many
it would be the
fucking
longest
people.
list.
30 seconds is not enough. Like,
Yeah,
not even close. Like,
Oh no, and I'm really bad about on the spot stuff because then I'm just like, wait.
yeah, wait, what?
Yeah.
Overthinking it. Like,
Where can folks go to find your music?
It is everywhere. It's on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, everything, SoundCloud, Tidal. If you pay for Tidal, it's on Tidal. We're also on Facebook at Mutha Falcon. So it's Mutha with a U. It's like MUTHA-Falcon. Our handle on Facebook is at Mutha Falcon without the hyphen. But I think the Facebook name actually has a hyphen. You can find us on Instagram at mfalcondenton. So if you're not familiar with how Denton is spelled, it's M, then Falcon, and then DENTON. We're also on Twitter at, I think it's mfalcon_DTX. We're on a lot of stuff. I think those are the big 3, I'm pretty sure.
we're also gonna like put links to everything in the description for this too. So,
Dope.
so people can see things.
Yeah, we're here, there, everywhere.
Oh yeah. So what's the most important thing that you think people should hear? Music or a message, like, or something that you think people need to hear?
So I feel like it's really easy every day to kind of get caught up in like, oh, I'm not doing, if you're doing music, like, oh, I'm not at the level I should be, or I've been doing this for so long and, no one cares and all that stuff. And it's like, I feel like everybody, no matter what you do, you've got to stay motivated in it and just like really put your foot into it. The way I like run my band, the way I see it, this is my band, my name is on it. I'm going to make it the best I can be, and I'm going to learn whatever I need to learn to get to the level that I want to be at. And I feel like it's so easy because like I have so many friends where like they've been doing music for way longer than we have, way fucking longer than we have, and they haven't been as successful as we have, and so they get like really discouraged or whatever, or they want to get bitter about it. But in all honesty, it's like, I feel like the best advice you can give to yourself is don't get bitter, get better, and just always stay on that grind because it will eventually pay off. Like the more hours that you put into your craft and getting it together and perfecting it, the better it's going to pay off in the long run. It's just like, and things are going to happen. Like you're going to have shit go wrong. Your stuff is going to get stolen. You're going to have really, really, really bad stuff happen. You're going to get hit by a car when you're riding your bike. You're going to have shit that should knock you down, but you cannot let that happen because then you are not doing yourself any favors. And and so just, I feel like everyone should just, even if you're not confident in what you're doing, just like find that confidence and just keep getting into it and just, always give everything 110%.
Fuck yeah. I know I needed to hear that shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the podcast, we're going to play 2 of y'all's songs. Which 2 songs would you like us to play?
Ooh, play Locked on Terminal 2. That's the one about serving. I wrote that when I was serving at IHOP, and I fucking hated it. It's, anybody who works in the service industry or even the customer service industry can definitely relate to it. It's everything that you have ever wanted to say to a customer, but you'd probably get fired if you did. That one slaps. So awesome. Yeah, Locked on Terminal 2, that's a good one. And then, let's see. Either Wasting My Time. Well, that's a personal favorite for me. I love Wasting My Time. It's about a guy who me and him are actually really good friends still. But at the time when I wrote this song, he had just wasted my time. He pissed me the fuck off. He pissed me off enough to write a song about it. Yeah. And it's very ragtimey. Like,
oh, I love it. That's awesome.
It's crazy, dude. Like, it's a very fun song. That's like my favorite to perform. So either that one or The Seventh Level, which is definitely more of like, kind of like anti-government kind of song. Like literally my opening lyrics of it are just another day in Nazi-occupied America. Target like the ads and the products that they're selling you. I'm like going, oh, dude. Like that's another good one too. So that's kind of up to y'all. Y'all can pick any of those three.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, y'all heard it. Mutha Falcon on Ragged Bones, Robbers Roost podcast. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for hanging out. We're looking forward to the show tonight.
Hey, Mark, can we take a quick break for a brief word from our sponsors?
Oh, Ren, that's a great idea.
Looking for that new hit piece of merch that won't break the bank? Bob's Angry Pins can help. They produce high-quality custom pinback buttons for bands, businesses, events, and more. Reference Ragged Bones Podcast and you'll receive 10% off your first order. Start yours by getting in touch today. Facebook.com/Bob's Angry Pins. Bob's Angry Pins @gmail.com.
Hey, I loved y'all's set. You guys have band shirts? No? Well, what are you waiting for? Call now for DIY t-shirts. One color, ink design on sustainably sourced used shirts that are better for the environment and come in a variety of sizes, styles, and color for a comparable cost to what you'd get them from a big corporation. Call Jeff at 860-908-2064 or search Jeff Butler Trio on Facebook. That's JEFFBUTLER Trio. thanks so much for tuning in. If you'd like to seek out or support any of the artists we've hosted today, we've attached links to this episode.
We're pretty darn hardworking artists ourselves, so if you'd like to show us some love and support, you can find us through our music, Robbers Roost.
Hey, check out our Patreon. It's probably the best way to support us. Also, check us out on social media because we plan to release these every Tuesday. Spill the beans, Ren.
Search for Robbers Roost, podcast or band on any platform. We got merch, tour dates, and all the fun stuff.
Ragged Bones from Broken Homes. This has been another episode with Mark.
And Renegade.
Stay tuned, folks.
Is that a musician joke?